Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Inferno cast, episode number 23, lucky number 23. And this episode, we are going to be featuring our predictions for the 2023 Game Awards. I, of course, am Inferno Fox, the host of this podcast and of the YouTube's Inferno Fox Gaming channel. You can find this podcast here on YouTube as well as on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and more. And before we get right into the topic, I want to go ahead and introduce my fantastic cast and crew. First and foremost, we have Simbu Darkfang. He is our level 5 grandpa, main actor for Basement of the Dead. That Basement of the Dead located in Aurora, Illinois, and that is in the suburbs of Chicago. So if you're in the area, definitely recommend checking that out if they're open. And of course, he is the best player at Fork Knife. Don't challenge me on this. Simbu, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, it's always good to be here to talk about the Oscars. Oh, what? Right? Movies,
Yeah.
actors, Scientology, Tom Cruise.
Not so much Scientology, but well, actually, a lot less Scientology.
Yeah,
I hope
that's
someone
all
gets
we'll say
slapped.
about them. Stop talking about them. Besides asking, where's Shelley? And that's all I got to say.
Next up, of course, we've got Jamie Owls 87, my partner in crime. Jamie Owls, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
We also have Jason the 13th, who is the owner of the YouTube channel Jason the 13th, not just a clever title. Jason, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. I'm going to be interested to see how everyone's voting today.
Absolutely. Stormrosesky also joining us from the Twitch and YouTube channels of Stormrosesky. Storm, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here talking about all things video games with you all.
Yes. And last and certainly not least, we have Astrimedes, developer and co-owner of Second Place Games. Astrimedes, thank you so much for joining us.
Happy to be here for this exciting and extremely important award show talk.
This absolutely is extremely important. We cannot discount the importance of the Game Awards, which is the biggest. Well, technically, it should be, because video games are the biggest form of media in the world, surpassing both music, TV, and movies all combined. But tonight, for this Oscar-worthy show, we are going to be doing our predictions and votes for what is going to win at the Game Awards, airing this Thursday, December 7th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, available to stream pretty much anywhere and everywhere online, like YouTube and whatnot. And there's like over 30 categories, but we're not going to sit here and go over all of them. We're going to only do like 20, because we're not worried about who wins eSports or creator categories. And also, to that end, since most of us here don't do a lot of mobile gaming or any in VR, not going to discuss those categories. And also not discussed is games for impact or best debut indie. So really, we just want to go ahead and jump right into it. And one little last precursor note is that we're going to be predicting and voting on the categories. We're not predicting any of the games we think are going to be announced or premiered or anything like that for the Game Awards, because every year they have that. We're not really going to go through that, although maybe if we have time at the end. I highly doubt it, because we are even foregoing our pre-discussion topics. So jumping right in, I'm going to share my screen as soon as I figure out how to pull that through here.
And turn off the turtle porn.
I make any guarantees on that, because I like the turtles. Okay.
Sound effects were great. There we go.
Yay, there we go.
All right, so we're gonna kick things right off here with the most anticipated game, and we have got we've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, we've got Hades 2, Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8. So go ahead and kick things off. Astrimedes, what do you predict is going to win? What is your vote? What is your own most anticipated game out of this list of games?
I would say my own is Hades 2. And I think, in terms of prediction, I think there's maybe a non-zero chance that Hades 2 gets it. It's the first one's kind of a critical darling. So I think it's possible. I'm gonna go with that.
Cool. Jason, how about you? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, it might be a lot early. Next year, we'll probably see Grand Theft Auto, but I'm actually gonna go for my pick as Final Fantasy on it.
For your prediction and vote?
Yes, actually, I want to see it win, and I'm hoping it wins.
Yeah, I'm gonna be right there with you. That's my vote. That is actually my prediction. Simbu, is your vote Star Wars Outlaws?
Oh, anybody who knows me knows that's what I'm calling for my vote. Now, however, I'm torn between 3 of them for who actually wins, and that's going to be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because of the Final Fantasy, the massive following Final Fantasy has. Hades 2 has had gotten a lot ahead of steam recently, especially, well, I mean, kind of, going back to the whole Starfield anticipation. And then, of course, Star Wars Outlaws, which is just going to be a massive Star Wars game for the consoles. But I would like to see Star Wars Outlaws win it. But I'm going to probably have to side with Astrimedes and give it to Hades 2.
Gotcha. Jamie Owls, how about you?
For my prediction, I want to say probably Final Fantasy, because for a lot of Final Fantasy fans out there, I bet they were the ones that were really hoping that would win, and my vote would be same title for the Final Fantasy.
Nice. And Storm, how about you? Yep. And Storm, if you're muted, we can't hear you, or
Oh,
maybe.
Yep, that was I was muted talking to myself there. As we
But
know,
we're
this
gonna
is par for the
Yeah,
course. It
it
starts early.
happens.
Okay,
I'm going to start
It
doing live
happens
check on the
a lot.
podcast, not just on Fortnite.
I know. Okay, so Star Wars Outlaws is going to be my own vote for most anticipated, but what I predict to win is going to be Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, because that fan base is just huge. I know of, and I think it's going to do well for them.
Nice. Oh, and did I mention that there's going to be a prize for the winner who gets the most correct predictions? And if
right.
and if I get the most correct predictions, then it goes to the second most correct
Ooh.
predictions. I will reveal who the winner
Now you're putting
is
pressure
and what
on
the
us.
prize is on the next
No kidding.
podcast.
Now there's
Who do we
pressure
win?
on this.
All right, let's move on to the next. And that is going to be best adaptation. And so we have Castlevania Nocturne, the anime series on Netflix. We have Gran Turismo, the film, almost said Gran Torino. We have The Last of Us TV series, the Super Mario Brothers movie, and Twisted Metal, the television series. Jamie Owls, what is your prediction and vote?
For my vote, it's definitely the Super Mario Brothers movie. That is without a doubt. But my prediction would be probably The Last of Us.
Nice. I am actually going to be exactly right there with you.
We'll make this easy because those are my same
Mhm.
picks too. I'd love to see Mario's
too.
win, but I think Last of Us is winning that.
Wow.
Yep.
Astrimedes, how about you?
I'm gonna go with Last of Us for both my pick and predicted, I think. I'd say I also watched the Castlevania series, and I think that's a pretty solid potential, maybe second choice or so for me. And with like the Twisted Metal television series, I thought was kind of surprisingly good too, as we talked about on the prior podcast. So I'd say that maybe be my third choice. But yeah, Last of Us for both predicted and probably favorite. Just caliber of acting, production values, and everything really does kind of elevate it.
Simbu, how about you?
I mean, should be no surprise. I would love to see Twisted Metal get some love, but, and here's the but, so you can take that off there. I'm going Last of Us for both.
Good
Mario
call.
Bros. Mario Brothers was a great great movie. I mean, a lot of random fan service though.
Yes,
my
that is why we all want it to win, but none of us think it's going to win.
So if we're basing it on the true adaptation, like true to the thing, like I get that Mario, again, Mario is going to be a hard thing to do because it's just a concoction of random levels. But again, I got to go with Last of Us because that's the truest to the game adaptation we have.
Yeah, I think out of all of this, I'm sort of feeling like that as well. I question a little bit of the casting choices in there, but regardless, I out of all these five, acting, the performances, the set pieces, everything like the everything like that.
FX, the SFX, and designs of everything.
Yeah.
I've got to give it to The Last of Us. You can't,
Amazing.
attention to detail. If attention to detail speaks, I mean, it's easier to do a Mario in that sense because you can make it it's all CGI and it's it's not as practical. But when you look at The Last of Us and you see how many practical effects on set were done, that's talented, especially coming from a performance background myself.
Although, if you're going to say CG, technically it's not that easy because apparently Disney doesn't know how to do it. Their last few Marvel movies are a big testament to that.
Well, of course.
Sorry,
I'm not gonna argue that one. But again, though, if you're talking realm of computer digitally designed versus hey, we've got a team of people here with brush and airbrush and paints and prosthetics and things like that. It makes it a lot harder.
That whole backlash is awesome for us because I feel like they're bringing back the idea of practical effects to movies. At least that's kind of seeming like the trend. But
hopefully
it's a very slow pushback over the last decade or two. It feels like, which
especially
is
the last year or so.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're just not falling to the get it done as fast as possible and make it as quick and cheap as possible. So
well, that's where AI comes in.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Let's go for number 3, innovation in accessibility. So we've got 6 choices here. We have Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6. And innovation in accessibility, just a quick caveat, is the options and everything that are available in game for individuals that are either differently abled or have other issues that prevent them from being able to game, to where these 6 games allow more inclusivity to individuals that can play these games. But hopefully that crazy description helps you guys. Jason, I'm putting you on point. What is your prediction? What is your vote?
All right. I'm kind of completely random on this because I've never played any of them in this category. So I'd love to see Street Fighter win, even though I hate that they put the Battle Pass stuff in it. but I'm going to guess on a limb here because I heard a few good things about it that Hi-Fi Rush is going to win it.
Simbu, how about you?
See, this is where it's, as somebody who's not differently abled, it's a hard category
Yep.
because you don't really, for me, I don't really pay attention to all the accessibility features on stuff. I mean, if anything, I would probably have to go with like, and this is the caveat here, is the accessibility controller from PlayStation, that being released to the public. I would probably have to go with Spider-Man 2.
Is that your
Only,
prediction and vote? I'm sorry.
that's at least, yeah, let's give it to both of them. Only because it's, it's tough to say because, I mean, if we're really going to get down to it, I mean, Diablo 4 is probably the easiest for somebody with a disability to play.
So would
just
you want to change your vote if you think that's the easiest?
The category is innovation and accessibility, though. So really the category is supposed to be asking, what game has done the most kind of interesting, effective new stuff to make it accessible.
Yeah, and unfortunately for me, I haven't looked into any of that because,
Okay. No
I'm
worries. So Astrimedes, how about you?
So I haven't played the games, but I did look into each of them. Like, even though I am not someone who tends to need or benefit from accessibility controls as a software developer, I'm very aware of the notion of catering for different accessibility needs like color blindness and all that. So I looked into each of these games, and I was actually really interested to find that there's a sort of probably larger than you would expect sort of blind fighting game player community. I went down a little bit of a YouTube rabbit hole looking into this, and basically there's a kind of multiple fighting games. I believe this is true of both Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat 1. They use sound cues. So blind players typically will use stereo sound, and then when they turn this feature on, it will basically make an audio ping that will appear on either right or left speaker to indicate where someone was when a particular, I think it's movement and hits. There's some kind of different audio cues or something, so that literally through sound you can know the positioning. It's fairly doable for a fighting game, only because it is a very 2D plane, both of these fighting games we're talking about. So it's easy to kind of signal in that way. So all these games do have at least some accessibility features, but from what I could tell, it seemed like Mortal Kombat 1 had kind of the most accessibility features, including some sort of newer stuff that was not necessarily kind of standard across the board. They have a good their screen reading across the board, which is basically a minimum expectation these days. Like different hit types have different audio feedback. You can mess with the audio mix. So I'm gonna say both prediction and personal pick for Mortal Kombat 1 on that one.
Jamie Owls, how about you?
So I'm on the same level with Simbu with the whole accessibility. I don't really fully pay attention, but if I would have to pick for both prediction and vote, my vote is going to be for Mortal Kombat 1. And only because I played a lot more Mortal Kombat throughout my life, a little bit of Street Fighter. So as a Mortal Kombat fan, yes. So that's going to be my vote.
Storm, how about you?
I'm going to go same as Jamie Owls And yeah, Mortal Kombat is my vote and is my prediction. Yeah, I will stick with that. I'm thinking, but no, I'm sticking with Mortal Kombat for both. There you go.
So my vote would have been completely different, and I want to avoid any sort of controversy on this, but my vote would have been Hogwarts Legacy for innovation and accessibility, because it had a lot of options to where you can turn. There's like, for example, there's the arachnophobia filter where you can turn the spiders, and there are a lot of them, into like simple polygons or even just boxes in case there's literally somebody that has that as a phobia. There's a lot of different controls. There's a lot of different color schemes and everything like that. However, that game, for reasons, was not nominated for anything. So with that said, I'm kind of in the same spot as you guys. I am going to be a jerk though, and I'm going to put my prediction as Street Fighter 6, and I am going to be like Jason 13th. I like Hi-Fi Rush. I'm putting that as my vote because that is what I voted, because I like that game. I did play that. I only played it for like 2 or 3 hours. But like Simbu had mentioned, I didn't look at the accessibility options on that game. I kind of wish I should, because I usually look into options before playing. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with that. Moving on to the next category, this is a fun one: best multiplayer game. And we have Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Storm, what is your prediction and vote?
My prediction? Oh, well, wait. My personal prediction would be Super Mario Brothers Wonder. However, I think is going to win is probably Baldur's Gate 3. I've not played it, but I've heard enough about it. And with, hearing how good it is from you all who are more into that particular title, I feel like it could go to Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, that was exactly what my choices were going to be. I want Super Mario to win. It ain't going to win, but I wanted to win, so that's what I ended up voting myself. Astrimedes, how about you?
I would say, so big caveat here, not having actually played any of these, I would kind of guess I would probably go with Mario Brothers Wonder for my personal pick. My prediction is going to be Street Fighter 6. It feels almost the most multiplayer first kind of focused game on here, and I almost feel like they're going to be not sure what other awards to give it. It feels like this would be a possibility.
Nice. Jamie Owls, how about you?
I'm the same with Astrimedes. My personal vote would be the Super Mario Brothers Wonder, which I'm starting to play with you, and it's a lot of fun. And for my prediction, it's going to be Street Fighter 6.
Jason?
I'm actually right along with you and Storm on this one. I think Baldur's Gate's going to win it, and of course, I want to see Super Mario Brothers win.
I
Simbu, how
don't
about
think Baldur's Gate will win it only because it doesn't feel like a really like that the multiplayer experience for that game, despite how much everyone loves the game. I feel, and I would hope this would be reflected, that like as a multiplayer experience, it's arguably not as kind of interesting or deep as some of these other ones, when it's basically just segmenting a single player game and letting someone else control parts of it. I know there's slightly more to it than that, but still. Anyway.
No, good rebuttal there. Simbu, how about you? What do you feel is the best multiplayer game?
All right. So I haven't played it. Either one of my answers here. But what it's going to come down to is, what is their what is the quote unquote biggest criteria for multiplayer game? What's the one that's going to hold the most weight? Is it the amount of fun that players are having while playing it? Because if that's the case, party animals should take, because I've seen a lot of funny videos for party animals online, and it looks funny. It's like a Fall Guys where you can actually beat each other up. But actual for winning, and the reason why Baldur's Gate 3 is going to take this one is because it's, multiplayer. When I look at it, it is shared experience. It's the reason why Jason the 13th and I have played all the Dark Pictures anthology games together. It's, we're sharing this, story together, and, reason why we all play Fortnite together. We're having a good time. We're, more about hanging out with each other than really, anything else. So prediction, yes, is Baldur's Gate, and personal is going to be party animals.
Yeah, that's a good point, Simbu, about the shared experience thing. That's like in real life, one of the strong points of movies is essentially the same thing.
And
right, and that's
theoretically, that could make Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom a great multiplayer game because of the shared experience that you have playing that with others, except you're not playing it with others. It literally is your own game that you have just on your own. But there is something to be said that, hey, I'm doing this quest. Oh, you're doing this quest too. Okay, cool. We can join up because it literally is a multiplayer game, but you're still sharing that experience.
right. But again, like Baldur's Gate, for example, Baldur's Gate 3, you're sitting there and you're in all the same story together at the same time. And my personal, actions affect your experience. Versus, Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, which I believe is,
Right, but speaking to what Astrimedes was saying, that's why movies are so popular, because it's a shared experience, but you're experiencing the story one singular way, but just with multiple people. Regardless, you Simbu have a much better explanation because you literally said, like, I'm at the whims of how you explore the story.
Yeah, and Baldur's Gate coming from tabletop, role-playing games, Dungeons and Dragons, like the tabletop games, that is like the defining feature basically.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that as an experience, it does try to retain some of that. So I rescind my previous comment, I guess.
And I know, Astrimedes, you don't have a lot of experience with the tabletop games or D&D or anything like that. D&D being Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm obviously messing with him because he's run his own D&D game for over a decade.
15 plus years, trying to wrap it up within the next year.
All right, moving on
that's not
to
gonna happen.
A topic that is near and dear to Astrimedes' heart, and that is best sports and racing game. Astrimedes, out of EA Sports FC 24, F1 23, Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged, and the Crew Motorfest, Astrimedes, what do you think is going to win, and what's your vote?
So I'm gonna predict without a ton of reasoning behind it, really, that Forza Motorsport wins because it feels like it's trying to be a classy, high-end franchise. That's basically what my pick is based on. And then my personal pick, I don't know. There's a lot of these I explicitly don't want to give it to. To be honest, what I would probably most enjoy playing among these might be Hot Wheels, but I'm really hesitant to give anything to Hot Wheels because I was really grossed out by the pricing model on Steam where they charge you for a full price new game when there's this new one is coming out. The way they did the original sequel pricing makes me not want to pick that one. So let's go with the Crew Motorfest.
Yes. And while we're talking about the sports stuff, Jason, What is your prediction? What is your
Oh, this is
vote?
gonna be great because just for the comical relief, I want to see the crew win. But my prediction, there's so many soccer fans out there. I think the solo soccer game in a racing category is going to win it.
So you I'm
I
sorry,
want
you
the
said
crew. Yep, crew for my personal vote.
gotcha. Jamie Owls, how about you?
I'm gonna have to be honest here. I don't play sport games at all, so I have not heard or hear anything about the categories. If I would have just have to guess, my prediction would probably be the motorsport. And if I would have to vote, I guess I would just pick the EA Sports.
So you're predicting Forza's going to win, and you're voting for EA Sports.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Simbu, how about you?
Well, this is a tough one. It really is.
Yeah.
Because first off, I don't understand why sports and racing are in the same category when you've got literally every single sports game comes out every single year. And lately it seems like there's a new racing game every single year too. So that doesn't really matter either. I've played Hot Wheels Unleashed, the first one. I kind of enjoyed my time with it, but it's kind of bland. What's going to actually win is I'm going to probably have to give it to the Crew Motorfest. I mean, I guess we'll go with Hot Wheels.
Just
Hot
think-
Wheels.
Personal.
Just think, you said Hot Wheels was bland, and yet it's out beating the football, the basketball, and any other sport games for the category.
Well, you're right there, but at the same time, it's different. It's
That
not
is
just
true.
Madden, instead of 23, it has a 24 with updated rosters.
I get that.
So, but personally, if we're going to be honest, I would like to see these categories get separated back into
Yeah, a
their
racing
own
category and then
divisions.
sports. Yes.
Yeah, racing in particular is very much its own genre.
Yep.
It feels like it just deserves the whole thing. Yeah.
The counter argument to that is you got a lot of people that believe racing is a sport. Ask any NASCAR fan.
Yeah, I get that too.
Storm, what is your prediction and what is your vote? That is the appropriate reaction.
Because none of them I could give two flying sugar buckets about. So
Wow, she almost broke the rule.
yeah, I'm trying to be creative. That's what happens when you work with children. Oh, definitely predicting that the EA Sports FC 24, the soccer game, soccer is huge.
Yep.
When my students can get on YouTube or anything, a lot of them are watching soccer a lot. So, and anything they want to play in PE is soccer, and out on the field, like recess. So I think that one's gonna win. And Mario Kart, no. That's my vote. Mario Kart. No, I'll go with the Crew Motorfest because you all seem to think that's fun, and I've never played it.
I haven't played it either.
So
It
we
just
haven't
looks
played
fun.
it
I
either.
haven't played it either.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, there we
It
go.
looks like the
I
funnest.
promised that.
It looks like the funnest option out of all of the options.
Right.
It
Yes.
kinda
Yeah,
reminds-
I'll
Yes.
just mention too, because I was kind of thinking that too about FIFA, but the way the votes work for this is only actually 10%. Like people's votes getting counted. 90% of that is actually just this subgroup of the 100 people that originally industry and journalists, whoever they use to nominate the game. So it's still actually
Interesting.
really kind of like the small group that's deciding this.
Which is stupid, but
Mm-hmm.
That
Well,
that
anyway,
being
they have
said,
the
Oh, sorry,
That's why
Simbu,
they
go
have the
ahead.
Players' Choice. I was gonna say that's why they have the Players' Choice Awards, though. And the reason why I took Motorfest is because it kind of like the picture reminds me of the old Burnout games,
Hmm.
which were the
Yeah.
best.
Yes.
But going back to Astrimedes' point, that's why my vote also is Forza. I also, or my predictions Forza. My vote is also Forza because out of all of these, I feel I feel like Forza is the least evil, and when the Microsoft owned property is the least evil, yeah. No, seriously, I played Forza a little bit, only about like 2 to 4 hours for a few entries each, and it is excellent quality racing. I like the physics in it much better than Gran Turismo. I think Forza isn't gross like Gran Turismo 7 was, where it's always online. I think there's an offline mode, so that's really nice. The cars are great, the setting for motorsports good, so that's my whole logic on that. Moving on to the next one, that's going to be best sim and strategy game, and it is Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, Cities Skylines 2, Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, Pikmin 4. Jason, are you voting for Pikmin 4?
Unfortunately, no. I want Pikmin to win, but I don't think it's going to win. I'm surprised Pikmin was actually nominated because of the type of game it is. Doesn't seem like it would be up there in the award stuff, even though I love the Pikmin series. But my vote is going for Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem's going to win it, but
Oh
Pikmin
no,
is
so
what
your prediction is Fire Emblem.
Oh, sorry. Yes, the way I said that may
Was
have been
backwards.
a little backwards, but yes, my personal vote is Pikmin. I
Yes.
believe Fire Emblem will win this one.
Helps if I spell Pikmin correctly. Astrimedes, how about you?
So another big caveat. I haven't actually played these, but I actually know of some of these at least, or just about all of them. Looked a little bit into these iterations. I would say that my prediction is also going to be Fire Emblem. And then just because it feels like again, Fire Emblem is a bit of like a kind of critical darling sort of series. And then for personal, I would probably guess that of these, I would maybe have the most fun with Advance Wars. I didn't really play the first Advance Wars, but I remember looking a lot into it and got a lot of really good press, and I liked what I saw of the mechanics. So that would be my prediction for my personal preference, since I didn't actually play it.
I know I played one of them. I don't remember which one way back when, and it was a fun game.
Nice. Yeah, I am going to vote for, or I'm sorry, I'm going to predict Cities Skylines 2. And I am going to put my vote for Advance Wars 1 and 2 because we're going to be lucky if Advance Wars 1 and 2 is going to break 1 million copies. That it was supposed to release last year, then a larger country invaded a smaller one, and the larger country is featured as like one of the main villains in Advance Wars, or at least a stereotype of said larger country. That being said, with how that all went down, I'm glad to see it was nominated, as I am with Pikmin 4. But yeah, that's my thought process.
I just want to mention, so City Skylines 2, I actually would have, if it wasn't for what I've been reading more recently about the game, where there seemed to be pretty serious performance issues with the game, I probably would have initially voted for or predicted City Skylines 2, but I get the sense, and I could be off base, but I get the sense that that's going to kind of color possibly how people are thinking about the game.
Jamie Owls, how about you? What is your prediction and what is your vote for best sim and strategy game?
My personal choice, probably City Skylines 2, which to me sounds kind of fun to play. Kind of reminds me of The Sims, where you get to build your own cities. My prediction, though, would probably be the Fire Emblem Engage.
Cool. Simbu, how about you?
Well, seeing as how you know, only 10% of probably what everybody, actually says counts for any of this. If that was the case, I would say my prediction would be a lot different. But I'm probably I'm gonna go Nintendo no matter what, and I'm gonna have to go double up with Fire Emblem.
Both prediction and vote.
Yep.
Storm, how about you?
My prediction is going to be that Fire Emblem wins. And my personal pick, honestly, because I've not had any experience with any of these games, but I've seen videos of Pikmin 4. So I will go with Pikmin 4.
Oh, nice.
I'll just copy Jason the 13th over there.
That's not a problem.
Moving on to the next one, it's going to be the best family game. And we have Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I am going to be voting for Super Mario Brothers Wonder, both for the prediction and both for the vote.
Yep.
Storm, do you agree on both?
Yes, I'm just gonna butt in line there because that would
no, totally cool.
be my vote.
Simbu, how about you?
I'm gonna have to give both to Super Mario Wonder. I have Sonic Superstars. My wife, my daughter, and I, we all tried playing it. Jason the 13th also was over here one day, and him, and my daughter were trying to play it, and it's not good for multiplayer, in all honesties, because it's such a fast game. That's the whole point. You're fast, and everybody else just gets left in the dust when one person hits one thing and they're gone. And I mean, I was sitting there one point, just controller in hand, waiting for my turn to maybe be on screen. So Mario Wonder, definitely by all means, going for both.
Jamie Ellis, how about you?
I'm gonna go with, for both prediction and vote, Super Mario Brothers Wonder as well. There is a small part of me that wants to pick Sonic Superstars, but I have a hunch that it's gonna be Super Mario Brothers under the prediction.
Jason, how about you?
I'm right along with all of you so far, with Super Mario Brothers winning it. Although I still would love to see Pikmin 4 win. So,
Do you want me to put that for your vote?
yes, Pikmin 4 for my vote.
Astrimedes.
I'm going to agree with most of the group here and have it be both my personal and my prediction. I feel like family is like almost a gimme category for Nintendo.
Yep.
In my, opinion, I feel like this is likely the only category Nintendo may actually
walk away with.
Win. Yeah,
Yep.
it's at least the only guaranteed nearly category, I would say. But yeah, seems like an almost obvious outcome here for me.
Very fair. Next up is best fighting game. This is honestly one of the toughest years for this category.
Yeah.
We have God of Rock, we have Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, and Street Fighter 6. Jamie Owls, what is your prediction and vote?
My vote would be Mortal Kombat 1. And honestly, it's for the prediction. I have a feeling it's still going to be Mortal Kombat.
Nice. Let's see. Astrimedes, back to you again. What is your prediction and vote for best fighting game?
I'm gonna go the same actually, both Mortal Kombat ones. I haven't actually played a modern Mortal Kombat game in a long time, but the ones I played back in the day I liked, and I'm actually kind of interested by this one. It's sort of interesting to see I feel like the last few years, like they last 10 years has been acceleration of kind of they started increasing the number after the Street Fighter games. They, I mean, they've been doing that for a while, but yeah, I'm going to go Mortal Kombat 1 for both.
Cool. Simbu, how about you? What is your prediction and vote for best fighting game?
I'm gonna just go Mortal Kombat. Despite everyone, and deservedly so, going after the crappy pay that Mortal Kombat tried doing with the fatalities, I'm still gonna give it to Mortal Kombat for both.
Storm, how about you?
It's going to be Mortal Kombat, both categories.
Nice. Jason?
I'm gonna be the upset here, and there's one reason only. My vote is Mortal Kombat. I have a feeling that Mortal Kombat is still too new, and it got a little bit of slack with the Switch stuff and the graphics and everything, and Street Fighter's been out longer. And I really think it's a 50-50 shot between Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat as to who's going to win. I think Street Fighter is going to just barely pull it off on this one.
So do I, but I think it's going to win by a much wider margin.
Oh, you think so?
Yep, and I'm also putting that as my vote. I think it's the better game by far.
Yeah, it was kind of a toss-up to me in terms of prediction. I haven't actually played either one, so I'm really just guessing, but yeah.
Now on to best role-playing game. This one's near and dear to my heart. So, and I'm gonna lead us off here. But for our best role-playing game, we have Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield. I'm voting for Sea of Stars because that game was beautiful. It was wonderful, fantastic, and a great new game that had that sort of nostalgia feels, but I live in the real world. My vote is Baldur's Gate 3. Simbu.
Your prediction, you mean, is Baldur's Gate 3.
Yep, thank you. Prediction for that is Baldur's Gate 3. My vote is Sea of Stars. Simbu, your prediction and vote is Starfield, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Double down, triple down, third place, in general. I'm going with Starfield. Now that now that I'm not senile anymore, I'm gonna double down Baldur's Gate 3.
Good man.
Straight up, Baldur's Gate 3. I get that Sea of Stars has that nostalgia feel, and it's beautifully.
It's Baldur's Gate 3. Come on.
Done, and it again exactly. It's a D&D campaign with tens of thousands of possibilities.
God.
Granted, the start and the end are both going to be the same with slight variations at the end, but there's just that whole giant, spider web in the middle that makes that, that really captures that RPG, which is why people sit at Denny's at 1:00 in the morning till 5 a.m. playing Dungeons and Dragons. I mean,
right, Astrimedes?
Where you'll find me every night.
and only one cup of coffee, right?
Got to milk that cup
per hour.
Astrimedes, what are your votes?
I'm going to go with both Baldur's Gate 3. I followed the development of the game a lot. Was pretty interested by it. I played the old Baldur's Gate games back in the day. I did not play Baldur's Gate 2 remastered, but I heard very good things. I feel like it's obviously kind of a critical darling. Seems like almost a no-brainer. I would say too that from what I've seen of Sea of Stars, I feel like I would probably enjoy Sea of Stars a lot too. I would probably give the edge maybe to Baldur's Gate, but Sea of Stars, I'm guessing if I actually pick it up, would probably get like an honorable mention here.
Yeah, Astrimedes, I absolutely recommend that you pick that up on PC. It's phenomenal. Storm, what are your picks?
My prediction is going to go to Baldur's Gate 3. My own personal vote though would be for Sea of Stars. You should absolutely get that game there, Astrimedes. It's fabulous. I still have a little bit more to go because then Super Mario RPG came out and other things came out, and I got my hands on God of War Ragnarok. So there's a lot of video game like backlog and things I've wanted to play that have just have put that to the side for a little bit. But it's a fabulous game. I'm almost done with it. What Inferno Fox said is true. It has that nostalgic feel of little classic RPG and just a funny storyline, and it's wonderfully done. So I would love that to win, but Baldur's Gate is probably just gonna sweep this category. So
once either of those goes on a significant sale, I will probably check them out.
Absolutely.
Good luck on Baldur's Gate 3. That's gonna be
that's gonna be about 10 years for that one. Yeah.
It'll be like they'll be on Baldur's Gate like 9, and then Baldur's Gate 3 will finally go on sale.
When the sequel comes out, they'll give you a 20% discount on the original.
Yeah, because it was funny during the Black Friday sale, the Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 pack were on sale on the Nintendo Switch for $15. That's normally $50, so that's pretty decent.
I picked those up.
Nice.
Jamie Owls, what is your prediction and vote for best RPG?
My prediction would be Baldur's Gate 3 as well, based on all the reviews I've been reading. It's like the top game. Role-playing game, I should say, but my vote would probably be Final Fantasy 16. That would be my vote.
Alrighty. And Jason, how about you?
I'm copying Simbu and Astrimedes. Baldur's Gate all the way on this one.
So the next two is interesting. I'm looking. The next one is best action adventure game, and the one after that is action game. So it's like it's
I almost did a double take there too.
So starting with the first one, action and adventure, we've got Alan Wake 2. We've got Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We've got Marvel's Spider-Man 2. We have Resident Evil 4 and Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Simbu, why is Star Wars your vote?
Why it's the one I want to see win?
Yeah.
Duh is all I really gotta say.
Because it's Star Wars.
And it's a fantastic Star Wars game nonetheless. But prediction out of everything on this list, I'm probably gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with Tears of the Kingdom.
Ooh.
Only due to I really would like to go Spider-Man 2. However, when it comes to you know what? Screw that. Give me Spider-Man 2.
You're Spider-Manning it up.
Yep. Give me Spider-Man 2.
Because sorry.
Thinking, just thinking about action adventure, like if Zelda is the same way it's been, there's minor amounts of action as to where Spider-Man is a lot of high, fast-paced action. Plus, there's a lot of exploration in Spider-Man. Not saying that Tears of the Kingdom doesn't have that as well.
Jamie Owls, what is your prediction and vote for best action adventure game?
What I want to see win is Resident Evil 4, so that would be my personal vote. But for my prediction, I am gonna go with Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Wow. No Alan Wake 2 out of you this time?
No, not this time.
I'm color me
I would
shocked.
hope they would win, but I have a feeling Legend of Zelda.
Jason, how about you?
Oh you guys are having me second guess my thoughts on this one. But I'm gonna stick with it, and I'm gonna be the oddball out here most likely. I going to completely reverse JML's choices here. I honestly think Resident Evil has a good shot of winning it, but I would love to see Zelda win.
Storm, how about you?
I I think that Alan Wake 2 is going to win it, honestly. And what I would want to see win is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
And Astrimedes.
Spider-Man 2 would be my prediction. Heard a lot of good things, and like Simbu was kind of mentioning, it seems like exploration is huge. And in particular, it seems like with the current generation of consoles and tricks they've been able to wring out of the consoles and everything, problems of the past from Spider-Man games, like very quick traversal and not being able to load everything in quick enough. Like they've essentially gotten past that barrier. I've heard there's huge portions of the game where you're flying through huge parts of the city and everything is rendered. And so it feels to me like that will be the kind of big shiny AAA example of what an action adventure game can be for this year. So that would be my prediction. In terms of my personal pick, I'm not sure on this one because in terms of games among here, I would probably be most interested in playing and have the most fun with. It would probably be the Resident Evil 4 remake, but something fundamental in me cannot nominate a remake of a sequel for any of these categories as a personal pick. So I'm going to say I probably would enjoy kind of the novelty of Spider-Man 2, even though I think I would enjoy kind of the mood of Alan Wake 2. I suspect I would not find it kind of like deep enough in terms of game mechanics to necessarily stay committed the entire time.
Interesting. My choice for my prediction and vote is Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Moving on to the next one, best action game. This one is just action. And interesting. So we have Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2. I am going to be predicting Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon is going to win, but I want Hi-Fi Rush to win this one. Jason, what is your prediction and vote for best action game?
All right. Well, since I've only heard about 2 of these games off the top of my head, I know the other ones just. So I'm going to predict that Hi-Fi Rush is going to win it because I've heard really good things about it, which I really wouldn't mind playing it actually. But my vote is going to be for Dead Island.
So you are voting for it. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Storm, how about you? What is your prediction and vote for best action game?
My prediction for action game to win. Let's see. Hi-Fi Rush, I think, is gonna win. I would want to see Dead Island to play it only because it has zombies and stuff.
Yep.
That's about it.
Astrimedes, how about you?
I'm going to predict, it's kind of torn for prediction on this one, basically between Hi-Fi Rush and Armored Core 6, but I'm going to go Armored Core 6 because it feels like FromSoft has got to get an award. And then personal, I think it seems like I might actually like Armored Core 6 a lot. So basically, I have kind of the same dilemma for personal, but I'm going to go Hi-Fi Rush because the gameplay seems a little more sort of interesting.
Nice.
Novel, maybe.
Simbu, how about you?
Well, from what I've heard, I've only played one of these games. So from what I've heard, my prediction is Armored Core 6. What I would like to see is Dead Island 2.
Nice. And Jamie Ellis?
So for my prediction, I am leaning towards Dead Island 2 only because it seems like zombies have been popular in the last decade. What I want to see win, based on some of the reviews, is the Ghost Runner.
Nice. All right, and next one is the best ongoing game. This one's going to be tough. No, not necessarily.
No,
We've
it's not.
got Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 14, Fork Knife, and Genshin Impact. Storm, what is your prediction and vote?
My prediction is Fortnite, and my vote is Fortnite. If the
Mhm.
industry does not recognize what Epic just had happen in the last little bit with the OG season, and not only that, all the creative maps and everything that that game encompasses, it's a powerhouse of a thing, and I hope they don't do anything to wreck it. And there's some new things coming with the Lego mashup or collab, and it looks to be like Rock Band and stuff. So yeah, Fortnite. I
Jason?
believe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nope, that was it.
Okay.
Well,
Jason, how about you?
My personal vote is going to be Fortnite along with Storm there, but I think Apex Legends is too huge of a game, and I think they're going to pull this off.
Simbu?
I just want to say one thing: Cyberpunk does not belong on this list. I'm sorry. I give CE Project Red all the credit in the world for coming back and fixing the travesty that ended up releasing for it, but it's not considered an ongoing game. It literally just got its first DLC. All right. But I'm going to go Fortnite double down because, as Storm said, there is a lot of big things that just happened, and if I think Epic is doing everything that they should be doing to make everything happen.
Jamie Owls, how about you?
For this category, I'm probably gonna go for both prediction and vote Fortnite. Based on watching you and the rest of the crew play, I can see how it's a popular ongoing game.
I am both predicting and voting for Final Fantasy 14. I think it's won like 2 or 3 years in a row, if I remember right. I think they just had a DLC pack or a pack release this past summer to tremendous, that's a word, tremendous, enormous acclaim. There's over, I think, 15 to 20 million people that play it monthly or something like that. It's I can't remember if it eclipsed World of Warcraft, but I think there was a very short time period where it did, especially when Blizzard was having all the controversy and you had so many people leaving World of Warcraft, they went to Final Fantasy 14. That's my prediction and my vote. Astrimedes, how about you?
I'm gonna go with actually bucking all the predictions here. I'm gonna go with Cyberpunk 2077 because I feel like all the critics and journalists really wanted this to be a great game, and as soon as this great DLC came out, and it gave them an excuse to rant about how much they love it again. So in a possibly totally off base prediction, I'm gonna say Cyberpunk 2077 for prediction, and then personal, honestly, Cyberpunk 2077 is probably the game that most interests me among these, so I'll just default to that.
Nice. Next up is the best indie game, best independent game. This category kind of became its own sort of controversy once the nominations were announced, specifically because of the title Dave the Diver, because while it was created by a very small set of individuals, that the company that it was made by is owned by like a multi-million-dollar company. It's the idea of what an indie is or independent game is essentially stuff that like Astrimedes makes. It's literally anywhere from 1 to a dozen or a dozens individuals coming together to put together a game with low amount of resources. So that in its own way, it's kind of its controversy. But the categories, the titles are Cocoon, again, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder. I'm going to predict and vote for Sea of Stars because I loved that game.
I'm going to go the same way. Sea of Stars for both on this one.
Same for me too.
Same.
Yeah, double me up.
I do
It
think
really
it's-
is a great game. It really
So
is. It's
small little
it's
addition.
great.
I'm going to double up with you guys because it is the only game out of these 5 that I've even heard about.
I think it's funny that I think both Dredge and Dave the Diver are games where there's 2 game modes, and one of them has to do with sort of eldritch horror stuff, and one is a sort of puzzle relaxing portion of the game.
Huh.
I believe both of those games adhere to that formula.
Interesting. All right, we're going to move on to the next one, and this is best performance. Performance meaning, of course, voice and or mocap or motion cap. And the actors / actresses for best performance: Idris Elba as Solomon Reed, Melanie Liburd as Saga Anderson, look, and I can't even read this because this is cut off. The actor that plays Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Yuri Lowenthal.
Thank you. Cameron Monaghan as Cal Kesty, Neil Newbon as Asterion, Ben Starr as Clive. Simbu, what is your prediction and vote for this one?
Prediction is gonna be Neil Newbon from Baldur's Gate 3. Personal pick is gonna be Cameron Monaghan, however you say his name.
The future Link from the Legend of Zelda movie. At least that's who I want to see as Link, if I remember
I
right.
thought that was gonna be Machine Gun Kelly or whatever the heck his name is.
He wishes. Let's see here. Jason, how about you? What do you believe out of these actors had the best performance?
Oh, this one's a hard one because I don't know the games well enough. We're gonna say the how did the Spider-Man guy that can't. I know you just
Yuri
said
Lowenthal?
it. Yes, thank you. We're going to say that he's gonna win it. I want to see Idris Elba. I'd like to see him win it just because because Cyberpunk needs a little something here. So
Storm, how about you? Who do you feel had best performance?
Best performance, my personal vote is for Idris Elba, just because I love Idris Elba. So, you know, his accent's pretty good. But my vote of what would win is going to be Neil Newborn from Baldur's Gate.
So to confirm, so your prediction is Neil and your vote is Idris Elba?
My personal vote is Idris Elba, but my prediction of what will win is, yes, the Neil Newborn. Did I say that all backwards before? I probably did, but yes, I think Neil Newborn will win it, but I would like to see Idris Elba win, but I think
Astrimedes, how about
Baldur's
you?
Gate guy will get it.
No worries. Oh, and you're muted, or we can't hear you.
My bad.
There we
I
go.
am going to go with prediction and personal. Why not? Neil Newbon as Asterion in Baldur's Gate 3. purely because I think in that kind of game, there's a lot of opportunity for kind of maybe more of a range of acting than a lot of games would afford you for something that mimics kind of a Dungeons and Dragons tabletop RPG.
Nice. Jamie Ellis, how about you?
My vote is going to be, my personal vote would be Saga Anderson, Melanie LeBird. And for my prediction, of course, will have to be Neil Newborn as Astrion. Those are my
As Balder.
Yes, thank you.
And my prediction and vote is Ben Starr as Clive. Okay, and next up is Best Audio Design. This one, we've got Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Dead Space, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4. Astrimedes, what would you say is your prediction and vote for Best Audio Design? Again, not to be confused with the next category, Best Score and Music.
Prediction, I'll go with Dead Space 2. It was definitely a focus of their team, something people noticed about the games when they originally came out. So I think they'll again probably have done a pretty good job focusing on that. Personal, I'll keep it also Dead Space for personal.
Cool. Jason, how about you?
Well, because it's design stuff. When I think about the games that are up there, I'm thinking Resident Evil and Dead Space have the more design elements to the music over the other ones. Personally, I'd like to see Resident Evil, but I'm with Astrimedes. I think Dead Space will win it.
Same.
Simbu, how about you?
I'm gonna double up on Dead Space.
Dead Space goodness. And Storm?
Think Dead Space is going to win it, but my own vote, I would like to see Alan Wake to win.
Yeah, my prediction is Alan Wake 2. I want Hi-Fi Rush to I want Hi-Fi Rush to get some goodness. The sound effects on that and everything were awesome. It was just phenomenal to be able to have, especially when you hit the timing and everything right on that. But yeah, I think Alan Wake, just with how the sense of dread, even with Dead Space and Resident Evil 4 there. All right, next category is Best Score and Music.
Do we even have to go over this one? Because I'm pretty sure me and you have the exact same picks for this.
Best Score and Music is, we've got Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Jamie Owls, what would you pick for your prediction and vote?
For my personal vote, I will go Alan Wake 2. Only because they have included music from different artists, like real artists and band musicians, which I thought was really cool. And I discovered a couple new cool bands that I don't mind listening to more of their music. For my prediction, though, it would have to be Final Fantasy.
Okay. Simbu, how about you?
Well, it is cool what Jamie Ellis just said about Alan Wake 2. However, I don't really feel that, including like mainstream, like, music or bands that actually produce a song and just going, hey, can we put your song in our game, is, really something that, should be applauded, in that sense. I'm gonna double down with Baldur's Gate 3.
Double down for Baldur's Gate 3. Storm, how about you?
my prediction of what will win be Final Fantasy. My own personal vote, though, is Alan Wake 2. Jamie Owls, the bands that are in that. Poets of the Fall was in Alan Wake, the first
Yes, they
Alan Wake.
were.
Their song The Last Goodbye was featured. They were asked to come back for Alan Wake 2. They're also a couple of other songs under a different band name. Old Gods of Asgard is Poets of the Fall, but they have a project for the video game for Alan Wake. So that's what they appear on in that video game as. But yeah, they're a small little band from Finland. So it's kind of cool. And that would be why my vote. I have one of their song titles tattooed on me, so I absolutely adore them. So if they could win it, it'd be great. So
Nice. Astrimedes, how about you?
I was on the fence about prediction between Alan Wake 2 or Hi-Fi Rush. I'm gonna say prediction will be Alan Wake 2, just because it feels like a very big budget movie soundtrack type of affair, and I feel like that's almost the image the organizers of award shows like this are trying to cultivate for video games. Personal pick, though, I'm going to go with Hi-Fi Rush because the music is neat and kind of surprisingly uncynical and almost old school kind of rock kind of stuff, and most importantly, it's core to the gameplay. So I'm going to go with Hi-Fi Rush for a personal pick.
Yep. And that is why not only is that my prediction, but that's also my personal pick, because of how excellent a job Hi-Fi Rush did to marry a really fantastic soundtrack that has that kind of matches that early 2000s sort of aesthetic to gameplay. So it feels like you're really kind of taking a time capsule back 20 years, but obviously you're playing a game recently released. And again, you can really sense my age, but I and me being that old millennial, but like I really enjoyed that soundtrack. It was fantastic. I don't think Legend of Zelda should have been nominated on this, because the soundtrack on it was fine, but I would say it was probably its weakest aspect. And Tears of the Kingdom is a 10 out of 10 game, and even still, I was like, I didn't think the sound on that was anything that was like, it didn't merit this sort of nomination, in my opinion. Jason, how about you?
Wow, you surprised me in that one. You did not the same as me. I'm doubling down on Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy always has great music in their games.
If you've noticed, I haven't picked anything Final Fantasy 16, and that's on purpose, except
Ooh.
the main actor for the performance. Beyond his performance, yeah.
Really? Oh, all right.
Moving on to art direction. So we're kind of in the artsy fartsy creative aspect. For art direction, we have Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Lies of P, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Jason, I'm going to call you right off and ask you what your prediction and vote is for best art direction.
I'm going to shock you on this one, probably, because I know 4 of the 5 ones games up there. I don't know Lies of P, but when I was just looking up screenshots, I thought they did great on their art and everything. So I'm going to go Lies of P to win it for shock curveball there. But as for prediction, my vote, I would go with Tears of the Kingdom for my vote.
Jamie Owls, how about you?
As for my personal vote, I'm gonna vote for Alan Wake 2. Based off the very first game that came out in 2005 and the remastered version that came out in 2020, I think, if I remember that correctly. The graphics of Alan Wake 2 are very impressive based on how the characters look. Also, too, with Alan Wake, they incorporate live action scenes in the game as well, which I thought was pretty cool. But based on the graphics of the game, it almost looks like real people. For my prediction, though, I'm probably gonna have to go with Legend of Zelda.
Simbu, how about you?
Well, I would like to see Hi-Fi Rush take it, but as somebody who loves the gothic noir sort of aspect for games, I love that whole dark and macabre. I'm going with prediction of Lies of P.
Good call. Good.
The art alone on that
nice.
game makes me want to play it.
I played the demo, and I will tell you, I am not going to be wasting any time on it.
Ooh,
It looked very good.
okay.
Just I hate Souls likes.
Oh
Ah.
yeah.
Okay.
Astrimedes, how about you? What is your prediction and vote for best art direction?
I'm probably wrong, but I'm gonna go with both for Hi-Fi Rush on this one, actually.
Storm, how about you?
Oh, my own personal vote would be Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I think it's fun looking. It's Nintendo at Nintendo's best, and it's pretty. But what I think is going to win, Alan Wake 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to mirror yours exactly. I think Super Mario Brothers has the potential to be a sleeper hit just because of how different it looks, the effects of the Wonder Flowers, how that changes the environments, how that changes the gameplay based on the environments. But Jamie Owls made a really compelling argument in regards to Alan Wake 2, where it marries like actual cinema, where the performer who voices Alan Wake 2 literally is filmed and it looks exactly like his character for a few scenes. I mean, just the whole presentation with how that was handled was amazing. So that's my thoughts on that. Next up is best narrative, kind of like, I'm assuming this means like best story. And we have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy 16, and Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Astrimedes, what do you believe is the best narrative? Your prediction and vote.
I'm gonna go with both Baldur's Gate 3 on this one.
All right. Jamie Owls, how about you?
I'm gonna vote for both prediction and vote Alan Wake 2.
Simbu?
I would love to see Spider-Man 2 get it, but we all know Larian Studios is cleaning house. So prediction, give me Baldur's Gate 3.
Storm?
I am going to copy Simbu over there. I would love to see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 get it, but I believe it's going to go to Baldur's Gate.
Jason, how about you?
Not playing any of them. I don't know how well stories are, but from what I've heard, I think Spider-Man has the potential to win it. So I'm doubling down on Spider-Man for this.
Nice.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to predict Baldur's Gate 3, but I want to see Alan Wake 2 win it. Definitely want to see that. Nearing the end here, second to last category or penultimate, best game direction. And we have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Jason, what game do you think is the predicted and voted best game direction?
I'm actually going to do another left field here. I'm going to double down on Zelda on this, on only for the fact of them introducing the whole building stuff in Zelda, that you could pretty much make everything and anything you ever want in the darn game now.
Jamie Owls, how about you?
I'm gonna go with both prediction and vote of the Super Mario Wonder. Yippee.
Simbu?
You know that this one's tough because with it being a creative vision and innovation for a directioning design, I would like to see Baldur's Gate 3. I would like Larian to clean house, but I've got to go with Jason on this one. It's going to be Tears of the Kingdom for that building.
Yep.
You know, that building mechanic. That building mechanic is insane. If you guys have even scrolled through videos, you will have seen some of the impressively amazing stuff that people have been able to create.
Storm, how about you?
Would like to see win. So my personal vote, not my prediction, but whatever. My personal thing is Super Mario Brothers. However, I think that Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has a chance of winning this one.
Astrimedes, how about you?
Yeah, this is a tough one. My personal, I'm gonna say, kind of want to say Baldur's Gate 3 because I want to say sort of the way the narrative was handled was actually pretty innovative. But in terms of prediction, I almost want to say Alan Wake 2, but maybe I guess that's not really true for this category. I hear direction and I think of like a movie, but you know what, I'll go prediction, really understanding the category. I'll actually go with predicting Zelda with you guys too, because the building mechanic does seem to kind of hit that right on the head.
Nice. I am going to predict Baldur's Gate 3, but I want Zelda to win. And on to the the final game of the year. Game of the year. We've got no, let's move forward with this.
Okay.
We've got Alan Wake 2. We've got Baldur's Gate 3. We've got Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, and second place games, Horde Lord. And it's Horde Lord to win. Everybody's voting for Horde Lord.
Oh no. How did this happen?
Astrimedes would like to thank.
Who'd you pay off?
The last category, or the last one, is Super Mario Brothers Wonder. My prediction is going to be Alan Wake 2 for the upset. I want Zelda to win this. But yeah. Simbu, I so rudely cut you off. Your prediction and vote, but what you were gonna say before that.
I was gonna say, for just a quick thing about the best art direction. Had this been Alan Wake 1, I would have given it to Alan Wake for best direction for a game, because it was innovative, highly innovative for combat. But again, it's Alan Wake 2. It's more of the same that we've already seen them do. But double down, Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3 FTW. Jamie Owls, Game of the Year prediction and vote.
Oh, a lot of good games.
Yes, it is.
Kind of a hard choice, but okay, so my prediction will probably be, if I'm listening to my intuition, it'll probably be Legend of Zelda. For my votes, I'm leaning towards Ooh, Resident Evil 4.
Nice. Jason, how about you?
I believe Baldur's Gate's got this one wrapped up. But I'd love to see Zelda pull away with it, but I know it's not going to happen.
Storm, how about you?
Oh, Baldur's Gate is gonna win this category. Yeah, Baldur's Gate's gonna just sweep house, unfortunately for everyone else involved. But I would love to see Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom get it just because, about Nintendo. Because when Nintendo does Nintendo, Nintendo does Nintendo fabulously. So
Yeah.
Astrimedes, how about you?
Baldur's Gate 3 for both on this one. I
Very
think this one's
good.
they've got this one on lock.
Nice. Yeah, so this is interesting. We've got a lot of predictions, some good votes here and everything. It's interesting to see when we double down, or we're that confident we believe that we've got
Yeah.
the right of way here on some of these. But yeah, this is going to be really interesting. Make sure to tune into the Game Awards again. That's 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, 5:30 Mountain, 4:30 Pacific. Hopefully we don't have another security moment where you got somebody
Yeah.
jumping onto the stage like the last two events. Should be a good show otherwise. But yeah, thank you guys, my excellent cast and crew for joining us here. As we outro, you can of course find Astrimedes. He is the developer and co-owner of Second Place Games, and you can find his Horde Lord soon to be re-uploaded to the Android Google Play Store. Is that right, Astrimedes?
You got that right.
Yes. And Stormrosesky, thank you as well for joining us. You can find her at the Twitch and YouTube channels of Stormrosesky. Storm, what kind of channel content you got coming in the pipeline?
Oh, I am going to work on my top 10 favorite video games. I'm also got some other, nostalgia type things with the holidays coming up. So hopefully I will have time in the next week or so when school is out. So
Nice.
I'll be able to work on videos.
Awesome. Definitely looking forward to that. I love your video content, just like I love Jason the 13th's video content you can find at YouTube of Jason the 13th. Jason, thank you so much for joining us.
Not a problem. And before you ask, I know I need to get kicked in the butt and get moving on my content and get it up and going again.
And Jamie Owls 87, my partner in crime. Thank you so much for joining us as well.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. And all these categories made me realize that I really need to get my game up and play more video games, because a lot of them, like, what is this? But yeah, no, some of them caught my interest, so I'll probably look into those more. So, yay.
Very cool. And last and absolutely certainly not least, we have Simbu Darkfang, our resident level 5 grandpa, primary actor for Basement of the Dead, located in Chicagoland, specifically in Aurora, Illinois, and the best fork knife player. Don't fight me on this. Simbu Darkfang, thank you again for joining us.
Hey, I always enjoy talking about the Golden Globes.
And the Golden Globes enjoy you talking about them. And of course, you can find my content here on Inferno Fox Gaming. This Saturday, I've got a pickups video, all the crazy crap that I managed to pick up on Black Friday on sales. It'll be a lot of fun to run through that. So thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you catch the Game Awards. 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Fortunately, there's no spoilers regarding Grand Theft Auto 6 trailers, because that already leaked a day early and that's already out, and that broke the internet as accordingly. So thank you so much and have a good one.